Welcome back everyone to the Complete Pineleaf. And last time we saw Nirzum deliver the bodies of Garcig's last two sons. And there's uh she's twins!
The White Wizard has taken everything from us.
Nirzum has truly crushed all that the old reef holds dear, and Wildemore seems as if it is ready to shatter at another blow. The White Hand is winning in this land. Oh boy.
It's a sad thing to watch your lands die.
This is a day I hoped I would never see. I am burying so many of my kin today. Idsig, Garforth, Thrym, and Garcig. Thrym wasn't of my blood, but he was closer to me than any of my kin. He was my foster son, and more importantly, was beloved by the people of Wildermore. Today we bury the men we lost to Shulifig, and at the gate here at Forlaw. I need a moment to myself after everything that's happened, and I will come to the graveyard when the gathering begins. Kuenberg is gracious enough to handle organizing the funeral for me. I believe it's about to begin. She is being strong for me, but please, give her company today. Alright, looks like the other version disappeared. Oh, she decided to stand up once and for all. Alright. She was an indecision on whether to kneel or to stand. That was the situation. I was just seeing two events at once. Sort of the uncertainty principle there. I had to lend a hand and organize this funeral for Garwig. He has lost so many of his sons and grandsons. It is as if the enemy hunts his family as a cruel act of torture. I lost both my father and my love, Shirfig, but that is nothing compared to what he's lost. It is only right that I help with his arrangements. I am not sure if I am ready to say goodbye to both my father, Hunegar, and the man I loved, Thrym, but whether I am ready or not, this is an important day. We can head down to the graveyard whenever you're ready. Then let us go.
The people of Forlaw gather to mourn those lost in the Battle of Shilfig, most notably their champion, Thrym Redbeard. And with him they bury any hope of surviving this war.
Oh boy, are they really sad. I think most of the Reeves family has gathered, and we are about to get started. Please, walk with me to the others. Then let us go. Yes, they seem to be singling him out, that's for sure. Even the sky seems to be mourning today. Yes, it is. I'm sorry to keep everyone waiting. Let us begin. Thank you, Kernenberg. Your help today. The impact of what occurred in Schulfing and Forlaw will take time to sink in. For us to recover from those we lost will take even longer. I wish I could offer words of inspiration, but I can't muster of either. There have been too many reasons to gather here of late. Today we lay to rest the last of my sons, Idsi, Gartford, Garci, and my grandsons, kinsmen, Garci, Grimbert, and Humold. And finally, Kuneberg's father, my cousin and great friend, Kunigar. Let us begin with the twins. Oh, they were twins. Alright. My sons, the twins, Idsig and Garforth. I am still in shock that they both were taken from me so suddenly. They were both filled with promise and had much to give to Forlaw. But the enemy stole them from us, from me, before they reached their potential. I will have to try hard to find comfort in the fact that they died as guardians of Forlaw. And despite the efforts of the enemy, they had an honorable death. May they rest in peace. Obviously fraternal twins. Rest in peace. Let us speak of Kunigar. My father Kunigar was a great leader of Shulfig. He was a powerful father, mentor to me and other people. Kunigar gave his life to help those who could escape. There is no greater honor for a warrior and leader such as he than to die protecting his home. We will miss you, old friend. May you rest in peace. Rest in peace. And we place the burial stone. Place the stone on Kunigar's grave. Very well. Let us speak of my grandsons. Humboldt and Grimgar, sons of Garsig and Berkhild. They fought alongside their father at Shulfig. They were young, but strong, brave, and they died with honor as warriors. They gave their lives to help those who escaped Shulfig. May they rest in peace. Rest in peace. Let us speak of Garsig. Garsig was my youngest son, and he and I have not always seen eye to eye. His heart was always in the right place, and his actions in Shulfig proved that. I forgive him for what happened to Cuthbald, but more importantly, I hope he forgave himself for what happened. I will miss you, my son. May he rest in peace. Rest in peace. Okay, so it's Ebba who always does the echo there, it looks like. Alright, we'll place that stone. Let us finish with Thrym. Thrym Redbeard, champion of Wildemore and greatest warrior of his land. He was more than just our champion. He was a symbol of hope and courage. He was it and is beloved by the people of Wildemore, and I hope to someday make him leader of Wildemore as my successor. Thrym was my nephew, but I saw him as a son, and he looked to me as a father. I cannot be more proud of the man that he became, nor more saddened by his passing. May he rest in peace. Rest in peace. That's interesting that he was planning on making Thrym the Reeve. I wonder, does the Reeve not necessarily pass down from father to son? Interesting thought. A most interesting thought. What do you say, Kuniberg? It is done. The fact that they are gone seems a little more real now than it did earlier. I need to go home and sit by a warm fire for a while. It appears that they have to conserve wood a little bit, so that's about as warm a fire as we can muster at the moment.
I'm afraid of what is happening to these lands.
I'd rather fight 1,000 orcs at once than to do something like that again. I still can't believe he's gone. Is this not just a bad dream? Oh, I'm sure I've encountered many people in Rohan who wish something was just a bad dream.
These are desperate times for the Rohirrim.
Not long ago, Nurzim attacked Forlaw with an army of white-hand orcs. The town was spared, but many good men of Forlaw were lost. The few men here are not focused on town security, and have not been able to clean up or repair the area since. They have only managed to bury our own. Many orc bodies still lie in the snow at the western gate. Please, take this torch and burn the orc bodies left at the site of the battle. Their presence defiles this land they lie on. Right, let us burn some orc bodies. I could go with that. Oh my goodness gracious!
I am afraid of what is happening to these lands.
After the funeral today, most of Garwig's family will have a hard time getting back to the way things were. Though, for some, they'll take a long time. Please, check on the orphans, Ansith and Kuthmar. They are cared for by Ebba and can usually be found in Garfert's house. Alright, I'll speak with Ebba. Now, Ebba was the one who always echoed the rest in peace there. The widow of Edsig.
I am afraid of what is happening to these lands.
Harriswith was devastated by the funeral earlier, and I imagine she is having a hard time today. Please check with Harriswith, who is now a widow of Edsig. All right? And the widow of Garforth.
I am afraid of what is happening to these lands.
Ebba cares for the orphans, but has no children of her own. Now with Garforth's death, she will find it hard not to feel alone. Please, check with Ebba. Alright?
I am afraid of what is happening to these lands.
And the widow of Garsig. Burghild was especially hard hit by recent events. She lost her husband and 2 sons in a matter of days. There is not much one can do for someone in her state, but nevertheless, please see if she needs anything. So, we need to speak with Edsig, Garfert, and not with those, with Harriswith, Ebba, and Burkild. And of course, we need to also speak with Anseat to keep the orphans busy. I have found Ebba, and we also have Anseat here, who I presume is one of the orphans. Hello, ma'am.
These are desperate times for the Rohirrim.
My husband, Garforth, was a pillar of strength on Forlaw. Much like Thrym, he was a great warrior, but nobody could match Thrym. Garforth's twin, Edsig, was wise beyond his years and kept him focused on his goals and helping people. There is no one Garforth cared for more than his twin brother. Could you help me honor Garforth? He and I would be honored if you placed Edsig's helmet at Garforth's grave. Alright, so place Edsig's helmet at Garforth's grave. So I just need, there's the helmet right over there. There you go, 1 helmet, so place that at the grave. Hello, young girl, what do you need?
What brings you to these lands?
I could just imagine her going, who are you calling a young girl? Kuthmar and I are behind in our chores with the funeral today, and it's hard to focus on anything with all that has happened. If you have a little time, we could use your help. I thought this was supposed to be keeping the orphans busy, not keeping the Pineleaf busy. The snow in Forlaw is worse lately than it's ever been. I brushed away the snow piles that built up around most of the town, but I have not been able to get to the western side of Forlaw. Could you please help me remove the piles over there while she's peeling the potatoes, apparently? Or what are she peeling? Not sure. Well, let's see what I can do. I would think that if you're fishing under these conditions, you wouldn't be sticking your feet into the water like that. Doesn't exactly sound like the safest thing to do. I think I'll just go around the pond, if you don't mind. Here's one of those snowdrifts, apparently. How many of those things were... Oh, I need lots of them, apparently. And here's one. And there's one right in front of, Garsig's home. Let's check in then with Garsig's widow. Here is Brughild.
I am afraid of what is happening to these lands.
Are we doomed to wait for our deaths, as Garwig was resigned to do? I don't fault him. He has lost everything he held dear. But today, we put what was left of our hope in the ground. Is there anyone left who could possibly save us from Nurzum? I lost almost everything in the battle at Schulfig. My husband, Garsig, and our two sons, Humbold and Grimgar. I can't go back to the graveyard today. Could you pay respect to Garsig and place his sword at his grave? Alright, his sword. Alright, I could do that. Now, my question is, who's this? Garwald. I mean, with a name like Gardwald, it sounds like I guess he's a third son that's too young to fight. So, Nurzum didn't think about killing him, just the elderly ones? And perhaps elderly wasn't the best word there. I will say adult sons, yes. Those of fighting age. But let's see. I'm also supposed to burn some orcs, if I remember correctly. Oh! Any orcs? Ah, there's one right now. Deal with the orcs. Here in Idzik's home, we have Luba. We have Siegburga. And we have Harrisweath. Are those her daughters, I guess, or what?
These are desperate times for the Rohirrim.
Forlaw has lost too many good men of late. My husband was one of those men. Itzig and his twin brother Garforth were beloved by the town. They protected Forlaw in the Battle of the Gate, but fell to the seemingly indestructible giant. Please, pay respect to my husband. Itzig loved his brother and would do anything for him. It is fitting tribute since Garforth was always Itzig's protector. Please, take Garforth's shield and place it on Itzig's grave. Alright, let's see. Let's get the shield and see if we understand this right. We want Garforth's shield at Itzig's grave. We want Itzig's helmet at Garforth's grave. So they're doing that intentionally, crossing over on there because they helped each other in that way. And then Guard Sig's sword will be at his own grave. Okay, got it! Here we are, back at the graveyard. We have Cuthart's stone, we have Humbald's grave. Here lies Humbald, son of Garsig and grandson of Garwig. He was the second of three sons of Garsig and Brughild and passed away at the age of 16. He died with his father and older brother at the Battle of Schudfig. Alright, don't tell me there's a deed. We're looking at all those. I'll worry about that later. Let's see, right here we have Garsig's grave where he could place his sword. There you go. That's one down for that. And over here we have, okay, this is Garforth's grave where he put Itzig's helmet. And then finally, over here we have Itzig's grave where we are to place Garforth's shield. There you go. Done. Now that means I could get back and tell them I've succeeded in removing some snow and burning some orcs. Oh, sir, I've finished removing some snow.
I do not know if we will survive this onslaught.
Ah, Ansit sent you to help. Thank you for helping us remove the snow piles. They build up fast these days. It seems like the wind blows them right back as I turn around to remove the next. I was also helping her with her chore, but could you now help me with mine? I need to collect a few fence posts to replace the broken ones from the western gate. Could you please grab a few fence posts for me? A few fence posts. You just keep fence posts lying around in the area, I guess? I'm sorry. This is the ultimate in silly, or can we really hold both of these at the same? I think I'd be hard pressed to hold up one of these fence posts, and now they're asking me to pick up 6 of them. Here are the fence posts.
I am afraid of what is happening to these lands.
I'm impressed. Well, considering that I'm holding up 6 huge fence posts and I'm only a hobbit, I can understand. Yes, I did not think this many posts would be lying around in town. I'm shocked about that too. You collected enough wood that those remaining in Forlaw may be able to start rebuilding soon. I'd help, but they don't let me yet. This would have taken me all day, but with the funeral and all, it is not a bad day. It's a bad day to have some fun instead. Oh, it's not a bad day to have some fun instead. Yeah, I cannot let myself be gloomy like all the adults seem to be today. Thank you for your help. How old is this guy? But he looks tall enough to almost be a warrior. I mean, really? Really? Finally, let's speak with Kunenberg here.
These are desperate times for the Rohirrim.
Thank you, Pineleaf, for cleansing the evil that lingered where many Forlaw's men were lost. You seem to be the only ray of light in the shadows that have fallen upon this town. It's good that you have some ray of light somewhere.
I am afraid of what is happening to these lands.
The farmlands were recently abandoned when Nirzum and orcs attacked Forlaw. Not everyone from the farms has made it back, and they could be in trouble. Forlaw is losing contact with so much of Wildermore these days. The nearest farm is Thrims, and is just southeast of Forlaw. That is where those working the fields are supposed to go if the other farms are run into trouble. Please, go and look for any survivors that are out there. Alright, I will find Thrim's farm and help with that. Maybe I could also see about those farms that are involved in the epic story quest or whatever I'm supposed to be doing there. And that's what we'll do in the next episode of The Complete Pineleaf.